Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the latest and greatest non-crazy news from all over the planet. That's not how I start the show, but it is today. Hi, party people. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Good to know you're here. Today, we are going to scoop up that news like you would 12 full yards of mulch in your driveway. We're going to scatter it all over the place. We're going to pick it up with our shovel, and we're going to, shove it into orifices and stuff, and you're going to be like, this is the greatest idea anyone's ever had, and think that the news is the best, and that show rocks, and you're going to give us all your money. And that's what's going to happen. You know, that's how we do this. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm your host, Steven. Joined as always be the amazing, the wonderful, the incredible, the cat-eared Smashley.
So I got a question. What do you do when you order mulch? Because it doesn't sound like what normal people do when they order mulch.
I shove it into the orifices of my yard. If my yard was a human body, I would be putting it in all the cracks. Judge not lest ye be judged, Ashley.
I remember that. We need that. That should be a shirt. Wouldn't it? God.
Are you going to die? Don't do it today.
So my dad has this thing in his genetic, thank you, that like your esophagus spasms, like, oh, that baby is not happy. That baby's full out crying.
He's got him. If you need to go, you say the word and we'll make this happen.
I'm struggling, like, not going to the crying baby because I'm like, I can fix it.
I don't know that you can. But, you think you can fix... Okay, you're giving me the eyeball. You can probably fix it. You can probably fix it.
It was, yeah, Erasmus is right.
You can fix it. You can win.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, so Jacob does this thing where he'll sit there and look at it and be like, tell me all about it. I'm like, he's literally, like, that's what crying is. He's literally telling you that he's unhappy in some manner.
Listen, babies don't come with an instruction manual. You just go and you're like, what are you crying for? And it's like, blah, and you're like, speak English. And it doesn't do that.
I saw this meme, and it's like a woman standing there with this just adorable little toddler, and the toddler is going blah 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 blah, like not wording, and the mother's thought bubble is, oh my gosh, I can't wait till you can talk to me because then I'll know like exactly what you want. And then the next thing is the toddler speaking, but it's no snack, no sleepy, no, and then she's like 4 out, and she's just like, yep, this is better.
Yeah, no, it's so you'll get to communicate once you get the sign language. Like, you guys have to do the sign language. You have to. If you don't do it, I'll do it.
What was milk?
Milk is this, or like, this is milk.
Milk should be.
And then the baby just shakes its tatas at you, like, Mom, I need your boobs. This is what it should be. This is what milk. This is milk. This is what adults do when they want to play with things. This is what kids do when they want to drink. Yeah, sorry.
Jacob keeps talking about like not he's like, Wiggles won't share with me, and I'm like literally, what are you gonna do with my boobs right now? Like, if you play with them, you will get shot in the eye. Like, do you want to play with them? Like, I don't understand.
I think Stephanie and I were so broken as humans for like the first year that by the time we were interested in anything again, that was not a threat. That was like, there was no threat of being shot in the eye. Because there was nothing but desperation. I've been
joking about it. We're like, how many more weeks do we have? But I'm like, I'm real scared. Like, I would like to have the sex ring, but I'm just like, if he puts something in and pulls out too fast, like, is something gonna pop out?
Like a wine cork.
Like, what if it gets stuck in my cervix, which I feel like is now bigger, and he just pulls it out? Like, what if he just goes all the way through?
What if he goes up and comes out your ears? That's terrible. This is the worst.
Smashing gets a prolapse. Yes. Oh my God, I'm so afraid of getting a prolapse because I'm just like, you push and now I'm just like, squeeze. But I don't know if the squeezing is enough.
As long as you don't start doing heavyweight lifting. Like, if you don't start going to CrossFit immediately and trying to lift 300 pounds, you should be okay. You know?
Sure. I mean,
You don't
most
want
of
to
the
be
weightlifting I did
Jorgensen.
was. Oh my
What's that?
God, that pork chop that your wife made was okay. So guys, like I've seen big pork chops before. Like I'm not a big pork person, but after like for some reason when I was pregnant, I'm just like I suddenly can eat pork chops. And so Stephanie made pork chops tonight because she's wonderful. And they were enormous. Like I'm not talking like a normal size enormous. I'm talking huge. They're like 4.5 inches thick. It looked like she had slaughtered a dinosaur.
They were massive. It was like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was a pig and worked out. These pork chops were 3 inches thick, you guys.
Like
I've never seen anything
Hogzilla.
like it. I mean, you're going to probably eat 2 or 3 pork chops anyway. This just cuts down on the serving size. You're like, I mean, they were in the fridge, right? And I thought maybe there's like, dang, that's a lot of pork chops in there. It wasn't that many. They were just 4 inches thick. They were taking up so much of the package.
Huge. Yeah, that's like, I was just like, that's the entire pig. Like, that's just a pig without a face.
Costco doesn't know how to cut meat into small portions. We once bought New York strip steaks that were 3 inches thick. New York strip, 3 inches thick. We actually cut them in half, like hot dog, hot dog style, not hamburger. And we had like 17 steaks that we were able to eat off of that for that one purchase. It was amazing. Costco doesn't know how to make things small enough for humans, so they just bulk everything.
What they do.
No, you're right.
What was I saying before we started the show? You told me not to
You were
forget,
sitting on the porch. You were sitting on the porch while I was off. You and Stephanie and your mom were on the porch talking about something or doing something. A listener probably remembers. They listen better than I do. That's why they're here.
No, I remember thinking that. And then I got my brain derailed because I'm like, oh, the reason we were sitting on the porch was because you guys were doing the dishes. But I don't remember. Like, what were we talking about before that? Kelly, I love you.
I don't remember what we talk about. Like, what were we talking about 3 minutes ago? How do you want me to remember this?
How do you guys listen to this show? Like, I don't I feel like you just hang out in the chat because there's really cool people in the chat. They're like, and we just talk in the background. That's probably the best.
That is for the best. That's how I enjoy my podcast. I listen to people say words and I do my thing. I got this thing like, oh, there's people talking around me and it's great. Head gamer, we strap in and hold on. Hands in the air. That's amazing. I just love that you guys chat. You could just sit there and lurk, but you active people make me smile. Give me the joy.
This is the only hangout that I've had up until like last week. And I mean, right now my hangouts is with Steven and Stephanie, and that's it. Like, so you guys are my friend group right now. And I haven't been able to be in Discord because it's just like, I have 3 seconds. I can sleep. I can wash my butthole. Or
just the butthole?
Sleep.
Like you just go, oh, I've got a few minutes.
If you could if you had 10 seconds to get clean, what would you do? Okay, well, if you had a minute, if you had 60 seconds to get clean and feel okay for the day, what would you do?
Pits, nuts, and butts, baby.
Okay, Og would brush his teeth. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I would clean my butt and my nuts, and I'd brush my teeth. I could make it work. I don't know. I could figure out how to. I've taken a shower in 2.5 minutes before because I was late for work at CVS and I was putting my tie on and my shoes in the parking lot in order to make it and work on time.
So I feel like it's so when I don't actually shower for the day, I just like really heat up a washcloth and I wash my armpit. I wash my face. Just because the water feels good, like not even wash, it's just splash water on my face. I wash my armpits and I wash my bumble region.
Got to keep the bumble region clean.
The bumble region, yeah. And then if I have time, I'll swish with peppermint toothpaste stuff. But I found out that you can just take a dry cloth and do this to your teeth, and it gets all the scuzzies off your teeth. Because, I mean, that's what a toothbrush is. It's just to remove the scuzzies. So
you keep inventing new ways to brush your teeth about once a year. Because at first it was just like, I use a toothbrush and whatever. And then it was like, oh, I started washing my teeth with coconut oil. And then you're like, oh, I mixed in activated, because you got into a real activated charcoal kick for about 6 or 7 months. And you were like, activated charcoal. I put it up my butt and my ear and in my teeth and up my nose. And I'm the cleanest human being. And I'm going to live forever because active charcoal filters out cancer cells or some BS you made up. And then, but now
it does. It doesn't filter out cancer cells, but it's like if you drink too much, it's great. If you're not feeling good because you ate something wonky, it's great. I mean, that's what the baby has in the gripe water. It's charcoal.
You gave me charcoal once when I had a tummy problem. Because you make us experiment with what you're experimenting with. You're like a female Tim Ferriss. You're just like, oh, is this a new thing? Let me check it out. Because Tim Ferriss gets things injected into his body all the time. He's basically a human. A body hacker is probably the right way to put it. Okay, he's no, wait. The right word is insane person. But he learns a lot from being absolutely crazy, and we learn a lot from watching him basically get weekly blood work as he experiments on his body.
I feel like I need to watch. Is that the Bulletproof guy? Because I know he's all into body hacking.
No, he's the 4-Hour Workweek guy. He wrote the book The 4-Hour Workweek, which made everybody think that. So it was funny because he had him on one side writing 4-Hour Workweek, and then on the other side, Gary Vaynerchuk was writing Crush It. So Tim Ferriss was like, stop working, and Gary Vaynerchuk was like, work all the time until your head falls off. And like somewhere in there, they actually beat. Like there's enough common ground that you're like, both these guys just really want you to succeed in different ways.
And it just depends. Well, so that's the thing. Like the self-help books, I feel like everybody's like, some people have ADHD, some people like have learning disabilities, some people are super duper smart and some people just aren't super duper smart, right? So like there's certain things that are going to work for people and certain people things that not. So I feel like if you read something and it doesn't work for you, and this may be just me, but I automatically feel like a crap nugget.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't do this, therefore I failed twice.
I should have been good enough to do what this person did.
Yeah, like why doesn't this work for me? What's wrong with me? So I feel like that's the downfalls of some of the. It's like when somebody goes on a diet and something works for them, like, I ate all raw. Okay, that's great. That worked for you. I mean, it's working for you now. It may not work for you 10 years from now. And it may not work for Susie Q because she may not be able to eat bananas. Like,
well, I want to tell you something about self-help books or books on how to do something. They're mostly crap. They're mostly full of crap. Do you know you can write a self-help book? Because self-help books aren't for actually helping people. They're for helping people read a thing that makes them feel like they've done something. So you read a book and you're like, and I've fallen into this. I read Crush It and I was like, I have the potential to be amazing. Look at all this stuff. And how much did I act on it? Not much, but I felt freaking awesome after reading it. Why do you think there's so many books like Follow Your Heart and Find Your Potential? It's because people love reading it. They don't love doing it. They love reading it. And they read it and they're like, I'm the best because I read this book. And they go tell their friends, let me tell you about the book I read called Finding Your Butthole Behind Your Face. And it's amazing because I just found my butthole and it's amazing. And I'm the best now and blah, blah, blah. But they didn't really. They just read a book where someone else did it and they picked up on it and were like, I'm great. It's just and unless you have the discipline to follow through on the thing you read and make it yours and not just the feelings other people had, it doesn't actually change your life. It only changes your life when you can fully, and you take in the info and it's in your bones.
I like what Ace said, that self-help books are for helping the author make money.
100%.
I'm just like, great, but because I remember growing up, like Mom always had all these self-help books, and I'm just like, I didn't know that I needed self-help till I became a little more adulty, and I realized I had some issue. But it's not even self-help; it's just realizing where you have a little gap, and then figuring what works for you to fill in that gap.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say not like things work. Like I read a stoicism book, but it wasn't the whole book that mattered. It was like the greatest thing I got out of it was you can't do anything about traffic, so calm down. And I was like, Son of a gun.
Bullshit though. That there is nothing that will make me when Jake and I used to live in Wake Forest, and like I had about an hour drive between the crappy place I worked and then like where we live. So I would be like, okay, I'm escaping for the day. It's fine. But then by the time I got home, I had the entire hour to be annoyed at traffic. And I knew like the traffic wasn't going where it was always going to be there. I don't know why I had any expectation of it not sucking, but I had that whole hour to get steamed up about everything annoying at work. And so it just compounded it. And I'm just so by the time I got home, I'm like, I don't want you to look at me. I don't want you to touch me. I want everybody to die. I'm gonna get a bazooka. And if traffic wasn't so effing bad, I'd go back and kill everybody.
My favorite thing is when you go into that tiny mouse voice with great murder fantasies. It's like, I'm gonna rip your teeth out and shove them in your eyeballs, Kate. Like that's what I hear. But so okay, yeah, you can't just sit with Rammstein blowing in your speakers in traffic and expect to calm down. Like you were setting yourself up for failure for one thing. Like,
That is my calm music though, because my brain is so under electroded. The hyped up music makes my brain operate like normal. That's why, like, when Jacob listens to it, he's like, and I listen to it, I'm like, oh, my brain's working like normal.
that's fascinating. I'm sitting there and I'm like chewing through an audiobook. I'm like, oh man, I could listen to this. This traffic's fine. It took me an hour and a half to get home one day in West Virginia because I took a wrong turn and there was like, there's only one or two roads to get anywhere. And I took one and it just, everyone else had also decided to take it because traffic was bad on the interstate. And I had, luckily, I was listening to a Dan Brown book and I was like, I guess I'm just going to enjoy this on the way home. This will be great. And Dan Brown's fine and all, but 2 hours of Dan Brown and you're like, okay, this is a lot.
Mindfulness is really, really, really difficult for me because I'll be mindful until something distracts me, and then I'll be mindful about that. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, good. That didn't take long.
So we're sitting out on the deck, and so I mean, everybody knows this. I've had surgery on my nose because my nose was collapsing. They went in and like shoved my ear and dead people in it, right? You didn't know that. So it was swollen, and they're like, in 6 months the swelling will go down a little bit. Within a year, it'll be completely gone. So by the time the year was up, we realized that there's a huge chunk of bone missing out of my nose right here. So it makes my nose look crooked. But we were sitting on the deck, and Mom was like looking at me, and she reached up and touched her nose, and I'm like, it's not a smudge on my nose. It's the shadow from where there's a chunk of bone missing from where Jackass Incorporated in West Virginia decided to shave down the Cherokee part of my nose because he's a dickhole, and it shattered my nose. I'm like, you'll remember this. I come and stayed with you after the surgery and then complained about it for the last like 10 years. And she's like, well, it looks worse. Are you sure you don't have a smudge? I'm like, nope. And it's not a bruise. So she was worried that nursing was making my face collapse in, but it's just the light. So now, because I was thinking about the light, and then I saw myself in the thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is my nose is crooked. I'm missing some bone there. Why would you not replace the bone?
Because you're a butthole West Virginia turd doctor. Sounds like a great superhero. But
like he explained it to me after, and I'm like, okay, well, you literally had the bone putty. You had the bone putty with you. Like you could have just fixed the chink.
You could have just done it. You could have just taken the little notch and put stuff in it. I'm fascinated by that, but I'm also interested because your mom is going to turn into a different human for you and Jacob now that baby's here. Because the worry, the concern over everyone is going to drive you bonkers. Because you're going to be like, no, the kid's not going to die, Mom. He's fine. He's got everything he needs. But he looks cold. And you're going to be like, he's not cold. He's 7. He'll get a jacket if he's cold. It's fine. But he's gonna freeze. He's gonna get pneumonia. Are you sure he's eating enough? Are you eating enough? Is he eating enough? He looks hungry. I need to feed him 17 hamburgers. Is he gonna die? No, he's not gonna die. You're gonna get to experience all those conversations as we move forward.
She frets over it. So she has directed the fretting toward me instead of the baby. Are you okay? Have you slept? Do I need to come over? And I'm like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, I don't know if she's worried about me getting bummed out or if she's worried about me killing people. But like, when I get upset, I vent. So like, I'll text my friends up like, "Can you believe this ridiculous display of blah blah? This happened, and blah 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 blah." And then I'm better. Like once I bitch about it, I'm better. It makes me feel great to vent. If I don't have that outlet, then I struggle. But like, just because I'm whining about it doesn't mean like I'm gonna think about it 5 minutes later. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like
No,
it's
you
I
just get it
blah,
out of
blah,
your
blah, blah, blah,
system and you
and then
move on.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like,
But
I'm
I've
satisfied.
learned that I can't vent to mom because she thinks I'm gonna murder half the county.
No, and well, to be fair, your mom watched our downward spiral of doom and was like, "All my babies," and I think she's got as much PTSD as I do, probably. And it's
Yeah.
like everyone's gotta die, but like, it's fine. We're all good. Everybody can just be okay until someone says, Kelly's right. Mother's trained to fix the problem. Whatever
Yeah.
you need, I'm there. And it's like,
The
oh, I don't
problem
really
is
need
I had
this.
a child that needs fed every 2 hours. And not even yeah, like every 2 hours. It's not and I don't understand. If you take 10 minutes to suck a booby, then you finished eating after that 10 minutes. So shouldn't the timer start there and it be 2 hours later? But he's like, "Nah, it just evaporated into my giant." See, Jacob, did he really poop again?
Did he poop again just now?
Like, was it just a toodle McToot, or did he poop again? Because I was thinking, I'm like, I can take a bath with this kid if he's only taking a giant poop once a week, because I'll just go the next day after he's pooped, and then like we can have awesome bath time, and I can get a bath, and he can float around and be a water baby, and I'll be like an otter, and it'd be awesome. But if he's gonna take a giant shit in my bathtub, I'm not okay with that. I haven't even got to be in that bathtub yet. So
He's gonna poop in your tub. Sam never pooped
Ew,
anywhere.
what?
Sam never pooped anywhere, but Sam didn't poop for he didn't poop
Ever.
like yours does. No. So it was a much different scenario. But I tell you what, potty training Sam was easy. He pooped his pants one time and he's like never doing that again.
Oh,
No kids.
like
Yeah, he pooped his pants because we were potty training him and he would just put on underwear because he was doing pretty good. And he goes, and he's like, "Oh no!" And it messed him up. It messed him up. He never pooped his pants again, ever. Now he pees his pants. Like he's like, "I was just busy playing." I'm like, "Sam, you gotta stop doing this, man. You gotta stop doing
I saw
this."
him today, and he was sitting there, and he goes like this, and I'm like, go pee now," because I know that
Yeah.
Jacob, when he is pissed around too much and he's about to pop, he shivers, and I'm like, and then he's like, "I may have peed a little," and I'm like, "Dad, why are guys like this? Like, what is wrong with you? Go
I'm just like,
pee."
yeah, Sam will go put it to the bathroom to poop in a heartbeat. It's the pee that takes forever. But speaking of pee, we got to do a show. We got to get this factoid going, or you're going to have to
We
pee
didn't
before
need
it's
no
over.
notes.
No, according to the history book, The Records of the Three Kingdoms by the ancient historian Chen Shou, the single-wheeled cart today known as a wheelbarrow was invented by the prime minister of Shu Han, Zhuge Liang, in 231 AD. Liang was called his device a wooden ox. The handles of the cart faced forward so that it was pulled, and it was used to carry men and material in battle. I used to think that a wheelbarrow would be far more functional if it was pull versus push. Now I don't think so. But for a while, before I had used one much, I was like, this would be so much easier if you pulled it.
So why is it not better if you pull it? Wouldn't it be better if you pull it?
I mean, I think it's better to know where you're going, and you'd have those legs, and you'd probably catch them on more stuff if you were walking, like pulling it with you. It might be sometimes, like Travis said. I guess it depends on the situation, but 9 times out of 10, pushing is a better scenario. You lift and you push. Yeah, you like to be the one doing the pushing. Y'all remember
I
that
don't
guy?
like-
That guy used to talk about who would tell the dirty jokes at work and go. He was such a horrible turd of a person. Like the stories people tell in the workplace that you're like, there's some fraternity downtown you can go talk to that would love to hear you say this stuff. But we're all married grown men. Like, stop. But then again, I wasn't a locker room talk person, so I just wasn't used to the shenanigans.
I feel like if a joke is too bad for Steven, considering what we do on the show, like
There's a certain level of disgust you might have depending on the person and the behavior. And
yeah.
If there's a let's just take, okay, not to pick on anybody, but this guy was not the most attractive human being in the world. Northern West Virginia human being. In my mind, someone probably thought he was pretty. Someone did, according to his story. But I remember him sitting in this. It was a late night. We were doing some overnight work, and he was like, "Yeah, I was with this girl. She just turned 18. She really taught me a thing or two." I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard someone say to me at work." You just can't. I can't handle it.
I feel like you maybe should talk about like people just turning a certain birthday age and then sex at all, because that automatically makes you.
It was so pervy. And I'm like, could you just keep being the network guy and not this person that kind of thinks they can be my friend? Because I don't. This isn't my. You're not. That's not working for me, buddy. We don't know each other well enough.
Like,
anyway.
What do you guys do when you run into a situation where, well, I mean, you're never going to again because we're all quarantined for the rest of. Never mind. I don't even have to ask the question. Never mind. Enjoy dying alone.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Nobody gets to do anything ever again.
Enjoy dying alone. World news. Virus hangover for French brewers as they dump 10. What's MN mean? Mountain? 10 mountain liters of beer. Jacob, I'm not a scientist. Oh, million.
Milliliters?
Not 10 mountains worth of beer.
Where is it?
10 million liters of beer. It's in the notes. Okay, so we got it now.
What the hell's a liter?
And what's a MN? I mean, you thought we were going to know this stuff? I read a teleprompter, Jacob. Gosh.
Wait, job's done, Jacob. Job's done. We're not the think tank.
Thank you, Jacob, for getting the notes. France will discard 10 million liters of beer, 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools full, due to expire undrunk with consumers in coronavirus lockdown. So undrunk or expired beers. Most of the wasted brew is craft beer, which is often unpasteurized, unlike traditional blonde lagers, and quicker to spoil, said the Brewers de France. I feel like they could ship this to Texas, and Zafo would pick it up for him.
Right?
He'd probably get that taken care of.
Can you take a shitty beer and make it not shitty through science?
You just drop this special chemical in, and it becomes unskunked.
Well, no, I don't. Oh, was it skunked?
I mean, I guess that's what expired means.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So, okay, not like undrinkable, but unpalatable. Like, can you take a Corona Light and make it flavor?
And Gamer says no, but you can with more beer.
That was so good.
If you drink 7 Miller High Lifes, they taste great.
That 8th one. Choo, is
that
so
one
good.
is magic.
Ace is all about the Rolling Rock.
Rolling Rock. I've never had a Rolling Rock.
Neither have I.
My
I'm
grandpa.
not a huge beer person.
No, Stephanie's not either. I was like, we should get a bottle of wine and sit on the porch for anniversary. She's like, I don't really like wine. It hurts my tummy. And I'm like, you're right. You also drink like half a glass and you become the loopiest person I've ever seen.
Her head gets heavy.
Her head gets all heavy, and she's like, what are we talking about? I was like, nothing, baby. Go to sleep. It's fine. It's fine.
You're like, happy anniversary, and she's out.
She's like,
okay.
I'm toast. Your mom's
Oh,
the same
happy
way.
anniversary to me. I'm gonna go wrangle me a legendary beaver.
Gonna play Red Dead.
That sounds so much worse with her passed out.
Now that she's out, I'm gonna go wrangle a legendary beaver. That's a Red Dead reference, you perverts. Most of the Brewery Association boss, Maxime Costiles, says these are very hoppy beers, and if they are kept too long, when they spend more than 2 or 3 months in storage, the olfactory and taste effects and the aroma disappear. The National Brewers Association blamed the closure of cafes and restaurants, an abrupt halt to tourism, and the cancellation of festivals and expos under France's strict epidemic lockdown for leaving more than 10 million liters of beer unconsumed. The number was compiled from the association's 300-odd members, which represent 98% of beer production in France. The destruction of this beer will have come at a significant cost for businesses, says the association. We are a very indebted sector since we invested 241 million euros in development in 2019, a significant figure for a turnover of just 4 billion euros. About a quarter of French brewers are out of action under the country's virus-busting confinement measures, with home consumption failing to make up for sales lost with France's vital hospitality industry. About 70% of brewers have reported losing half their turnover or more since mid-March. Oh, brewers are getting hit hard by this.
I mean, everybody is. I mean, that's so, like, I just, you guys do a show on it. I don't have to talk about it.
But you don't have to. But it's important to know that if you want to talk about it, Staring at Goats is the podcast you want to listen to Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. You want to be there. Or you want to follow it on any of your podcast players of choice. Just search for Staring at Goats.
I sit in the chat, but like I'm nursing while you guys are doing it, and then he fell asleep, so I was trying to get some stuff done, but I was also eating like cookie dough with one hand, and then I had a baby in the other hand, but I didn't have a napkin, and I'm like, what do I do? So I took his muslin and wiped the cookie dough off on it.
That's fine. Ooh,
Yeah.
cookie dough. I want some of that.
What's not
I want
real
cookies.
cookie dough?
But it could be if you dream it enough.
It's oats, peanut butter, chocolate chips, and vanilla, and then maple syrup, and it's the best thing ever.
Well.
Oh, Kelly, I have
want
no idea how to add the quote. It may be because it says legendary beaver, and it's just like, that's a bad word.
Yeah, so the quote bot is broke, and I don't know why. It worked one day. I tested it, and I was like, oh, well, that worked. That was fine. But it seems to only work when we're offline, so I've got to figure out why it's broken. I'll get it working. Everyone calm down. The technical director of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades is here. The Orbiting HQ's technical man. She'll take care of it.
I just thought it was because it said beaver. Hold on. Like, copy paste it, stick it in Discord in the H&H, and we'll remember to add it.
No, we won't. But you can put it there and pin it. That's a good idea.
Somebody will add it.
We're not going to remember.
Like,
no.
stop doing my bidding.
We'll get
He's
it
not gonna
figured
do it.
out.
He's playing Animal Planet. What's that game? Animal.
No, he's playing No, this weirdo right now is playing Call of Duty Black Ops instead of being here. I saw it pop up in my Steam. Like, Sub doesn't play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
No, Sub is not a Call of Duty gamer.
I don't have my phone, or I'd be like, what are you doing?
Why are you not here? Well, who said you could play Call of Duty on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades time? By the way, you want to watch a fun stream, go watch Head Gamer play Skyrim as Punchy McPussyfoot or whatever he called his character. It's the greatest. It's an unarmed run. Yeah, it's a no weapons. I think he's gonna get an enchantable fork and spoon or something. But it's the most brilliant idea. It's glorious. It's glorious. Small town news. Call of Duty, life at Jacob and Ashley's house.
I'm like, Jake, I will say Jacob is as like, anyway, small town restaurant, dear Jesus. All of them, all of the thoughts were trying to get out the door at the same time. All of them, they were just stuck, and I had a stroke.
Got jammed in the door frame. You move. No, you move.
There's like one a-hole pushing in the back. Everybody died. So all the thoughts died. Restaurant to seat mannequins at empty table to make social distancing less awkward. No.
That's not helping.
no, I have seen the first episode of the reboot of not reboot of the continuation of Doctor Who, and I saw that one movie in the 80s where that chick came back and had sex with somebody that used to dress her up because she was Egyptian, even though she was white.
Wait, is that
What's
that
that
movie
called?
with Andrew McCarthy where he's dating a mannequin?
Is it called Mannequin?
I'm pretty sure it's called Mannequin. Kelly probably knows, or Travis probably knows.
Why would Kelly has sex with mannequins all the time. She would know.
I don't know. Kelly knows random stuff too, but Travis definitely knew it was Mannequin. Gosh, it's like the guy who does a movie podcast knows movie stuff.
Yes, man. So I have a friend. Steven knows my friend. He's an amazing human being. I love the guy. He lives in Germany. He's a weird mofo. He had a mannequin that he kept in his room, and he named her Ash, like after me. And like every once in a while, he would just send me a picture of her, and I'm like, I know you're not a serial killer. It's so strange.
You're like, I know you. You knew him over IRC. That much I knew. But
Yeah.
I don't know that means you know a person. You're better be happy that there was a lot of distance between you and him.
I mean, I still talk to him, and I don't think he's killed anybody.
You never not talk to a person that you've met before unless you just absolutely despise them.
Yeah.
You keep in touch with my friends that I've lost touch with.
Yeah. Hi, Micah. Micah's been sending me a picture of his family and his pool. And I'm like, eat a dick, you and your pool. Why are you laughing?
Because you told him to eat a D. If he has a pool and you want
He's
one.
just sending me pictures of his pool. He's like, oh yeah, life in quarantine. And I'm like, suck a donkey dong.
A honky tonk badonkey dong, if you know what I mean.
Pictures of his tool. No, Mike is married. Stop. A highly rated restaurant says it plans to fill empty tables with mannequins to make social distancing rules less awkward when customers are allowed to return. I thought that said West Virginia. The Inn at Little Washington in Virginia, a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant, plans to open for dinner on May 29th, and it could start welcoming guests for half-capacity outdoor seating as early as Friday when coronavirus restrictions are eased. I mean, outdoor seating, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't staff, it sucks for them because they're inside cooking for you.
I think we're going to see half capacity for a while. I think half capacity is going to be the general rule.
I feel like outdoor makes it safer. However, for staff that has to cook in a confined kitchen, like that kind of sucks for them. What are they going to do? Just sweat through their mask? Eating a D by the pool. Oh,
Yeah, I guess so. You're working over, I've got pork barbecue and I'm dying because I'm in an N95. I can't breathe and I'm hot as fire.
I don't know. I just know that, like, great for the patrons, but not necessarily great for the people who are stuck indoors who can't maintain social distancing. And even if they could, you're indoors. So the viral load is just, where's it going?
It's like trying to run a food truck. It's like there's not 6 feet inside a food truck.
Right.
Good luck.
And then it's the air, right? So like the whole 6 feet is to get away from the viral load that you're expelling. When I hit a button. I think we're good though.
It's gone.
Okay.
You're gone. Are the notes still there? Because everything else looks okay.
Am I gone?
No, you're there. You're fine. We're good.
Oh. I'm like, no, I ruined it. Okay, when the restaurant gets the green light to start serving customers inside the dining room, Chef Patrick O'Connell I don't know why I said it like that, plans to seat empty tables with mannequins. O'Connell says the mannequins will be decked out in vintage 1940s style office. Okay, that's a little cooler.
That's cool.
Still means they're just going to shoot you with their Tommy gun. The eatery, which features 23 guest rooms. Wait.
That's kind of awesome. What is this place? I want to go there.
Someone look up the Little Washington in Virginia.
I'm looking it up now. I mean, I clicked the link, which doesn't tell me anything.
It has plans to capitalize on its 20-acre property by offering picnic, lunch, and garden tours. That's cool. Like, if you're going to feed me outdoors, like, and barbecue outside, like, do something like that.
I knew a guy from Little Washington. It's
Really?
Washington, Virginia, but they all call it Little Washington because it's.
I think that's the actual town name, isn't it?
No, it's just Washington, Virginia, but people call it Little Washington. Because it's not the big Washington.
Have you seen that mannequin? Oh, it's a blow-up doll with a face. Ah!
They should really staff.
Steven.
They should go all out and staff the place with real dolls so people don't feel so creeped out.
That's what it looks like.
Oh no, it does look like a blow-up doll. Actually, that looks like a blow-up doll.
That's not classy. That is like she wants it in the butt.
Why? Why would you do? Why would you put? Man, it's not making me more comfortable. It's really scaring me. It's like I'm gonna dress this doll up like a Barack Obama so you can have dinner with him. No, that's wrong. This is a terrible idea. They should. Yeah. Oh, you guys need to see the picture.
It looks like the end of the world, and you're trying not to be sad.
Here, you got my browser scene is broke, so just go there. That'll fix it. You go there and look at it all you want. Stare deeply into the mannequin's eyes. Yeah, I agree. Empty tables are much better. I've eaten at a restaurant where there's empty tables, and I was like, sweet, empty tables. You know?
Yeah.
If there's two people too close, I leave. Stephanie and I were on a date. It's been the first time we went on a date in a long time. We went to Cheesecake Factory. And in Cheesecake Factory, they try to cram as many humans into that space as they possibly can. So they have these long bench seating areas with like these two-person tables just spaced out like 12 inches from each other. And they
like
put
you're
you there.
sitting next to someone that you
I'm having dinner with them. So I sit down and we both look at each other. I was like, there's people on both sides of us. Like I could just like touch them. Like I'm having dinner
you
with.
knock them when you get. So I don't care how close I am. It bothers me that they could hear my conversation and I have to lower my octave when I talk. I am incapable of doing that, and my conversations are always inappropriate. So I embarrass everybody I'm with when I go to Cheesecake Factory.
How am I supposed to talk about all the people around me if they're sitting that close?
Right?
I mean, I'm supposed to be able to say, do you see that guy over there with the face? I mean, geez. And then he's like right beside me. I could get in a fight. You're endangering me. And I think that's bad.
Yes. How do you get out of if somebody catches on fire? Safo, yes, that's all I was thinking about when I first started reading this. I'm just like, Doctor Who, man, like they're all going to eat you. Steven, okay, just watch Doctor Who. Just watch. I know. Just watch it, though. Just watch it, and it gets better. I've never let you down, man. I haven't. Told you to watch IT Crowd. You watched it. And then other things that I've told you to watch.
Your favorite movie is Resident Evil.
I know you don't like that, though, so I wouldn't suggest that. Unlike some people that suggest me watching a movie with my parents where there's a pubic hair floating in a vat of semen that's in a turkey baster.
You weren't supposed to watch it with her parents. You were just supposed to watch it. You just decided to watch it, and it was good until it got all rapey and weird at the end. It was mostly fine. I mean, it was a blood...
That's what Steven's campaign is going to be ran on. I'm mostly fine.
It's mostly fine. America, mostly fine.
Can we
vote for me?
Tagline? I'm changing our cards now from Horseshoes and hand grenades. It's going to be mostly fine.
Mostly fine. Let's just rebrand Two Dorks entirely. We're now mostly fine entertainment. It's better left untold. Jacob, you did this. Krobus sent this story in, and Jacob decided that it belonged with me. And if he's anywhere near you and able to cackle, he's doing it right now. He's cackling. He's dying. IKEA forced to remind customers not to masturbate in stores after an incident. IKEA, do you really have to? There's certain things you just
IKEA
do
deserves
in the privacy of your own home. IKEA has pledged to tighten its security after a woman was caught on camera masturbating in one of its stores. What a turn of events! This is not what I expected.
A-hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I too am a sexist a-hole because I expected it was a dude just gunning it out there, hanging out, found the couches. These are great. put my wiener in one of them. Like with the devil. It was a lady. This incident unfolded in one of the DIY furniture company's Chinese stores, although neither the branch nor the name of the perpetrator has been revealed. Oh, how unfortunate. I would love to know what woman in China was doing this.
I know, right?
In a 2-minute pornographic clip, an unidentified woman in a barely buttoned white shirt pleasures herself in various areas of the store, from display beds to seats. No, we haven't attached the video. Clever news story. She must have been making a video for herself. Or for the internet to make money.
I mean, destroying centuries-old lumber protected forests must really get her going. Thanks, IKEA.
Oh, do they do that?
Oh, IKEA is a shit show. I hate IKEA. IKEA
Really?
can burn with the forest that they're raping.
I didn't know that IKEA was a bad jam. I've always appreciated their furniture.
IKEA super duper duper bad. Everybody running IKEA bad. IKEA bad. Like, our next door neighbor brought us over banana bread and it was in an IKEA bag, and I'm like,
so I need to burn my desk now. And that thing. No, that thing came from Target. This is the only thing.
Kelly's on the F IKEA train. It's so bad. Like, it's like, okay, so just because you do a thing and then you find out that like the thing was maybe not the best thing doesn't mean the thing is bad, right? Because you already did the thing. It's already there. It's already been from the raped forest of Germany, right? Like, you can't do anything about it. But then once you learn the knowledge about the thing, maybe going forward, you don't do the thing no more.
Are you suggesting I change my behavior and understanding when I have new information? That's foolishness. Why would you suggest such a thing? I do not grow like a person.
Wait, what's it called when you give something that's not alive a personality?
Anthropomorphize.
Yes, you are the internet speaking for itself. Oh yes, like find a wood. That's what Steve and Stephanie did downstairs. They found a local woodworker and they had a kitchen table, and it's awesome.
Our kitchen table's great. The Country Tinker. Shout out to the Country Tinker, a local woodworker who made us our dining room table, and it looks great. Yeah. And it was reasonable. It was a reasonable price, and it was handcrafted, and he put the chairs together. We bought chairs from the internet, and we gave him the chairs, and he painted them to match the table he built, which was super cool. Yeah. Those tables those chairs were like from Target or something. I can't remember, but we bought them to go with the table, and we put them on his truck when he came to look at stuff or talk to us or whatever. And he took the chairs back and painted them so they looked like the table. Great
That's
work.
Awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, so anyway, back to IKEA's masturbation. Quickly, the video went viral across China. Chinese social media promptly get to be scrubbed. In fact, its impact was so seismic, IKEA itself felt compelled to respond. Without naming the specific store, IKEA said in a statement on Saturday, May 9th, "We resolutely oppose and condemn this kind of behavior and immediately reported it to the police in the city of the suspected store." The furniture giant added that it would be taking even more careful security and public cleanliness measures following the spread of the video and urged shoppers to browse stores in an orderly and civilized way. The punishment in China for taking part in such an offense is no slap on the wrist. For deliberate public nudity alone, citizens risk up to 10 days of administrative detention. That sounds scarier than jail somehow.
Administrative, yeah, that's
We're going to detain you for 10 days. That's pretty scary. I will tell you this, though. I know IKEA is a giant big ball of suck, but their Swedish meatballs are the jam. Swedish meatballs and lingonberry sauce and some macaroni and cheese. I went to IKEA once just to eat lunch. It was great. I was like, oh, Swedish meatballs. Now, you don't have to love them. You can hate those balls. You can be so upset at those balls, you can crush those balls in your hand. But I put those balls in my mouth. And they were great. So thank you with the sauce.
So I will say Swedish meatballs are fantastic, and my mother-in-law makes them with the lefse, so we can do that here. Oh yeah, they got, I think it was 2012 they came under fire for ancient tree logging, and then they would just, when they got caught, they would just pop up a new company under a different name and then hire the same loggers to go out there. It was real bad, and they're still doing it, and it's so shitty. And then like they knew their furniture was killing kids left and right, and they went to bat up against a bunch of parents like that lost their freaking toddlers
Yeah, it sounds like a
Anyways,
big old turd nugget.
yeah, they could die at all the fire.
Yeah, I think that probably seems fair. That whole shell company thing is a real problem. Like, you remember there's that documentary Blood on the Mountain? It was talking about West Virginia coal mining and what's that guy? Who's the turd bag with the mustache? Don Blankenship. Don Blankenship, who not only, like, coal company was getting ready to, like, a lot of the employees were getting ready to be retired. They were going to go off and get their pensions and everything after working and getting black lung for the sake of the country's power. And they spun off a company off of Massey Energy, and they put a ton of people in this new company and immediately bankrupted it and didn't know any of these old people their pensions. And it's dastardly. And then you got people like dying on the mountain of coal energy because, by God, this is America and we work in the coal mine. It's like they are literally putting their fist up your butthole and making you say this stuff. They're like, you are their puppet. Stop it. Stop fighting for people trying to shove your head in a giant pile of horse manure. This is not working. And he ran for governor, that turd. Turd.
That's
Super
what
turd.
they do in West Virginia, like in the repressed states like that. The same thing they did with the on the Elk River, Ohio River,
One of the
where all that
rivers.
crap leaked into the water, and then they just shut down the company and reopened it in the same effing building under a different name, so they didn't have to pay out anybody that they were like poisoning to death.
Oh, it's shifty, man. I didn't watch that movie,
It's
Dark Water. Mark Ruffalo's in it
I
because
wanna
Mark
see
Ruffalo
that.
does good stuff. Dark Water. It was about I think it was Dark Water because they didn't want to call it Black Water and have everybody upset at the Doobie Brothers, which would be sad. Oh, Black Water, keep on rolling. Keep on. It's a great song. But yeah, I'm
Yeah, I know.
telling
I'm
you.
just like, I don't know. I listened to weird
I don't
things.
know what that is.
I don't know what the music is.
WTF section. WTF.
Tiger King. Did you watch Tiger King, Steven?
I watched it on and off. Stephanie got really into it, and it was just watching a train wreck. Like, it's just I got a little done with, spoiler alert, one of the Tiger King's male partners that he was with, which is whatever, but he was like exploiting them. Like, this was a younger kid. He's like 50, and this kid ended up just playing with guns and shot himself. And like,
yeah,
the
hurt.
video that showed didn't show the guy shoot himself. It showed a reaction of one of the guys in the room when it happened. And I was like, that's jacked up. And then this egotistical butthole is like singing songs. I was like, this isn't about him. This is about you. You've made this funeral about you. And you're a giant horrible person, and I hope you rot. So yeah, I didn't like Tiger King. And I don't find it funny, fun to watch, or anything, because real people and real animals have been hurt by these people, and they made it an infotainment documentary where we laugh at how crazy Joe Exotic is, and it's like, that guy is responsible for deaths. Like,
So that's so like I did not see it like that at all. I thought it was. I think that's why everybody got pissed off, because they came in thinking it was going to be this awesome, like, kitschy funny thing, and then people realized like there's nobody to root for in that
no,
entire show. And I
no,
think that was the point. Like, you get to the end of it, you're like, holy mother of what that, like, this is just decades of people ruining themselves and
yeah,
being ruined, and like
and just
it's so
hating
bad.
each other and letting it consume who they are in like the worst of ways. It's just I want to not enjoy it because we already have enough trouble and enough people that are just a mess.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to watch a thing that just makes me feel better about who I am because I'm not that guy. These people are crazy. I'm fine. You know, which is what you do.
See, like I didn't. Yeah, it's so funny the way you see that versus the way I watch it. I watched it. I'm like, there is nothing to enjoy about this. It was just very, like Kelly said, it was very eye opening, and I'm just sitting there going, like, it wasn't entertained's not the right word. Like I never watched the new episode because I'm like, I can't. I'm tapped out. I don't care. They can all rot because I figured out what I needed to figure out. Like, I was given the information, but it was just
These people are going to make money off of their likeness rights for stuff. Like, they're going to make money off this documentary. They're making a Nicolas Cage scripted biopic about Tiger King, where he is going to play Tiger King.
He can't because he's in jail, right?
Joe Exotic will make money. Someone will. Joe Exotic's estate.
Hopefully his parents, because he screwed them over.
I mean, somebody, they're going to give these horrible people cash. And they're going to make more stuff about them. And they're going to make more merchandise. So you look like Joe Exotic at Halloween. It's just, it's terrible. People like this shouldn't be getting anything. They should be shot to the moon.
To the moon, Alice.
To the moon.
Wasn't he abusing his wife?
Yeah, you can't say, well, no, he said one of these days, Alice. He didn't say every night, Alice. I'm going to knock you to the moon. He says, one of these days, Alice, pow, right in the kisser. But he didn't mean that, you know? He didn't mean that.
I tried to kill people all the time.
I just apologized for was it Jackie Gleason? Is that who that was?
Well, I don't know. Like, I never watched it, so is it my turn?
The Honeymooners. Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, I didn't know if we did the thing or not.
Jackie Gleason. Yeah, it was that's who it was.
Like Family Guy mentions Jackie Gleason every once in a while, and I never get it.
I mean, I only know to the moon, Alice, and that it was black and white, and he was a bus driver. I didn't see Nick at Night only went back to I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke era, and Honeymooners came before that. So, and Honeymooners was such a big deal because it was so not Leave It to Beaver. Like, Leave It to Beaver, everything was wholesome, like Dennis the Menace, Leave It to Beaver, whatever. And then Honeymooners comes in with, like, domestic violence. Like, what? It was different.
I remember I watched, I Dream of Jeannie. I watched that every once in a while.
Yeah. I loved I Dream of Jeannie. Barbara Eden got in a lot of trouble when her belly button slipped up in her costumed on the show. Oh, TV didn't like that. All the trouble.
They put her in that outfit and got pissed off because they saw her belly button.
Yeah, well, I mean, they showed like 2 inches of skin between the top and the bottom, but then one time her belly button was out. Oh, snap. You want to talk about classic TV tropes? You come to me because I love this stuff. Like Mary Tyler Moore in her pants, like all this stuff. She had to wear a belly pasty. Yep. The creators wanted to show it.
Just like all boobs all the time.
It was a weird age. You could show the top part. I mean, but like Victorian era dresses, you had cleavage and stuff. It wasn't that. Yeah, your swimsuits on the beach, you had cleavage, but bellies.
Oh yeah, I guess there's no belly button. It's like it sits at her.
Yeah, it sits like up at her hips.
I have such a high waist. When I see pictures of women that have like a normal waist that's like, not 2 inches below their titties, I'm just like, I wonder what that feels like. Not to have to pull something up to like right under your boobs for your waist. But yeah, what was I talking about? I'm looking at naked women now.
Oh, I picked the wrong era. Thank you, Kelly, for correcting me. It wasn't the Victorian era. It was the Elizabethan era. Man, Kelly knows stuff.
Oh, yeah, Victorian era. They no makeup, no nothing. Like, you were just a sad, brown woman.
Safo, I'm looking at
Victoria was like, F your nonsense. You will be a pallid, sallow sack of crap, and you will do it for king and country.
It was like a big deal when Mary Tyler Moore wanted to wear pants on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Like, she just wanted to wear pants, and she had to talk them into it. She had to fight tooth and nail so she didn't have to wear a dress like Barbara Billingsley. She could wear her own pants.
Who's Barbara Billingsley?
Leave It to Beaver's mom. She was always in dresses. At the time, the women wore dresses. But, like, she was like, women don't always wear dresses. Sometimes women wear pants. People who watch the show need to see people who look like them.
I don't know that I would have fared well. I mean, when I was in school, I had to wear dresses, and that was just a cluster.
I can't see you in a dress. Oh, you remember the 70,000 face, the safety pins? When you had to go safety pins everywhere. I remember this one girl. She was a year older than me. She had giant boobs. That's what I remember. And she came into school once for like pictures or something, and she had safety pins from like her knee up another foot up her thigh. And it was like,
that's
what is going on?
And then finally they're just like, you can't do that anymore. I'm like,
I'll tell you one thing. Being a 13-year-old boy at a school where the girls were allowed to wear nothing but dresses, when we had that one day where you wear jeans because you're going out to work in the yard or whatever, I remember sitting with Landon on the bleachers, and both of us were looking around quietly, and Landon goes, "Girls look really good in jeans." You think, and it was funny because it's not like we'd never seen girls in jeans. We'd never seen these girls in jeans. It was amazing, and I just remember going like, they have like form. What is this? We're like,
well, that's
two lions sitting on a ridge.
The dresses that they made you wear, like you either wore a dress, which was, I mean, the dresses we couldn't because you couldn't wear spaghetti straps, but they were all those corduroy, like completely buttoned down, like jean pant dress things. And they were awful and they were stiff. So I wore 2 skirts. I had a cargo skirt from Delia's that had like a big huge pocket in it, and I would stick my teddy bear in it, and that's what I would wear. Or I had this really like clingy black thing with the slit that I just safety, because I mean the slits were the thing.
Yeah, it was hard to find clothes. It became impossible for you to find clothes that you could wear to school. And the dudes, we could wear almost anything we wanted as long as we had a button-down collared shirt.
Absolute bullshit.
We could wear.
Well, I mean that's what that school wanted you to learn, that women were pieces of shit.
Yeah. And I remember that women, I think there was discussion once we got lockers that we had top and bottom, that the girls would all get bottom lockers and the boys would get top lockers because they didn't want boys underneath the girls when you were getting books. It was insane, you guys. It was insane. Like, I remember my mom, I'd come home from school and talk about some rule that came up. She's like, everyone at your school is a pervert. She was like, all the adults at your school are their mind is in the gutter all the time. I was like, this is just what they, this is their thing. My mom was like, no, their mind is in the gutter. And I'm like, now I'm grown up and I'm like, yes, you're correct. Their mind was in the gutter and they thought everyone was going to be doing that.
I had a dream recently about that school, and I walked in without pants. And I think I was going to walk in and give somebody a what for. And then I turned around and said, this isn't worth my time, and walked out.
Man, doesn't age being wisdom like the best thing? You find ways to just go, screw you guys. This is stupid. I'm leaving. Like, I feel like being a nerd growing up, you have certain defense mechanisms. Like, really the only thing you have to hang on to is your wit, because you're never going to beat up anybody. And I just remember those moments of like, oh, I'm being cornered by the big guy again. Oh, you're scaring me to death. I made a kid cry once. Doing that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's this big punk kid, and he had a troubled home life or whatever, but he would pick on you. And I remember he tried to pick me up by my neck. I was like, this is real impressive. I'm terrified. And like half the locker room cracked up and like messed him up. And I remember,
oh my God, I wish I would have known that they were being dickholes to you, because I would have kicked somebody's ass.
Oh no, I know you would. I didn't know you at the time. You had like left the school by the time this mattered. But yeah, I would
have came back, Steven. I would have came back.
The idea of throwing a punch never hit my mind. I was just like, this is really scary. Oh no, you've got me.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
That's like, I guess I never saw like any of the bullying or anything. Like, I knew I hated all the chicks because I didn't understand why they gave so much of a shit about what people wore. Like, I still don't understand it. I'm like, why would you treat me one way this day and one way the next day? Because of like, who, like, am I a different person now?
I remember me and Patrick and Jason, we were in our band. We played a show at a coffee shop, and like a bunch of people came down from school. This is when our class was getting a little bit tighter. We didn't hate each other, but we didn't hang out. But sometimes you'd come down, and we had people that came that didn't normally come hang out with us. They came to see us play. And Stephanie was there, and she was sitting at a table, and these girls were sitting next to her. They were chit-chatting a little bit. We were playing our songs or whatever. And she said, you know what that girl said to me? I was like, what? She said, we used to think you guys were losers, but I guess it turns out you're pretty all right.
Oh,
she's like, whatever. Like, oh, thanks for the compliment. You guys are awesome.
Did you tell her to shove her tampon up her butt?
I think Stephanie didn't, but we probably should have. We probably should put a tampon up your butt. I wish I could be the person I am now and go back to then, knowing that most of everything they say or happens in high school doesn't have any bearing on you. But like
It's so bad.
These people peaked in high school. They never got any better. That is their success. But I pray every day Sam is just like even keeled. Don't be too popular. Don't be too down here. Just be even keeled. Because if you get too popular, it goes to your head, and then your entire life crashes as soon as you graduate. And then you're just, doing but nothing, smoking weed in your apartment.
Did you did you do your high school reunion? She said.
No, we tried to plan it. Some people were sweet and they tried to put it together, and I was like, I'm good. Let's do it. Let's get together. I would love to meet you guys. And we made a big group with everybody we could find on Facebook, and 18 people immediately left the group. Okay, I guess nobody wants to hang out. I guess hey, have fun. So it ended up being this one friend group of 5 girls that got together and hung out.
Oh my god! Well,
it's a disaster.
The only reason I went to my high school reunion was because Mark Bowers, God bless that kid, he's an amazing human being, absolutely amazing salt of the earth human being, and he bugged the shit out of me. And so Jacob and I went, and I was so happy to see the people that I liked. They were all dudes, Mark being one of them. And I'm like, yay! And then I started talking to the chicks again. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I hate you just as much now as I did 20 years ago. You're a piece of shit. You've opened your mouth and shit has flown forth. And I just remember being in the kitchen, and I was talking to this chick, and I'm like, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. And she spoke back to me, and I'm like, if I hit her, Mark will be pissed. And I won't get a group picture, and I can't post it anywhere, and this will be a wasted event. And I'm like, okay. So I moved on to the next chick. They were really close friends, and she opened her mouth and started talking. I'm like, mother of God, you guys are just pieces, nothing has okay, I haven't changed since high school, right? Personality wise, but I feel like maybe I've grown and I'm not as violent as I'm talking about killing people. Never mind, I'm just
No,
gonna
you're
stop.
you're pretty. On. Is that the one where you pretended to be an erotic fiction author? That's the greatest idea you ever had.
I at that point I'm like, I don't give a shit. I hate all of you. I hate the words that you're saying. I hate the way you're standing. I hate the way you still dress like you go to a Christian school. I hate, there's just nothing good about you. And then it's those little pissy shit comments about, oh, I used to think you were a nerd. I'm like, I would stab you in the vagina with a donkey dick right now if I had a big floppy one in my hand, and then I would slap you across the face with it. Shut up. Just talking about it makes me angry. I had difficult controlling my emotions, but it's not my fault. Ask Head Gamer.
Head Gamer says that I'm okay. He says none of these feelings aren't my fault. It's just how my brain works.
It was. I had difficult. See, he says the truth. I had difficulty regulating emotions. I've gotten better.
You have gotten a lot better. I the first time your kid is pushed down on the playground and you witness it, I feel sorry for everyone in the vicinity. Die. Yeah, whatever mom is in charge of this other kid, it's gonna you're gonna kill her. You're gonna punch her in the face.
I will not have very many mom friends.
No, you won't. Did your kid just punched my kid? Oh, it's just they were just playing. It was an accident. My kid's crying. It doesn't look like an accident to me. Dead.
It's cute that you think I would talk.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's true. That's a really good point. Read the story. Head Gamer went through a lot of work.
I'm like, hurry up, Steven. Jeez.
This is your turn.
I don't know how to do
We established this minutes ago.
Police say a man shot himself in the foot after throwing a shoe at a cockroach. Okay. Oh, Head Gamer gave us this. I have questions about the way this title is set up. A Michigan man shot himself in the foot when he threw his shoe at a cockroach. Again, was it? Did you ever watch Get Smart? And he had that was a phone in his shoe, not a gun. Never mind.
Yeah, I remember Get Smart. I watched all of them.
Yay! They made
Yeah.
a movie that had that one guy that shaved his chest. That was also in that one show.
Steve
The Detroit
Carell.
Man. Yes, that's all I have to say. The Detroit Man 50 is said to have seen the critter from across the room at home. And then it gives an address that I don't care about. The man who is wheelchair bound threw his shoe at the bug, but forgot his revolver was inside. It's for legit.
Who puts their revolver in a shoe? Honestly,
I secure that shit, man. Like it's not in your shoe. It's an ankle holster. There's a big difference. The gun fell out of his shoe, discharged, and hit the man in the foot. He was taken to a hospital and is said to be in stable condition. It's currently unknown whether he hit the cockroach.
that's a nice little button on the end of that story. I think what the
That's
story
amazing.
is, it's a testament to gun safety training. If you're gonna have one, you should treat it with care. Your dad was showing me a pistol the other day.
Wait, what?
Your dad goes, "Come here with me. I want to show you something." You know how he does that, and he won't tell you what he's going to show you. He makes you follow him around.
Sam does the same thing.
Yeah,
Sam
I know.
is 5.
It's the worst. Your dad's done that to me. I'm like, just please tell me what you want to tell me. Because like, I need to show you something. He'll take me out to my back porch and be like, "You need to paint that." I was like, you could have just said, "You got a spot on your back porch you need to paint." But no, you made me go downstairs, go outside, walk out on the porch with you in the cold to show me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But every gun he took out, I was like, he held one time, and I was standing in front of it. I was like, doot, 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 doot. He's like, "Oh, this one's not loaded." I'm like, "All guns are loaded, Doc. You taught me that.
All guns are loaded."
All guns are loaded. I'm like, and he's like, "Let me show you this." And he's like, and your dad's kind of shaky now because he's a little older. And I'm like, "I'm just gonna go. Your finger's awfully close to the place where the trigger is, and you're making me real nervous." So I was sitting there like, heart doing this. He's fine. He had it together.
Take it from him. Oh, let me see, and then just walk out of the room with it.
And then he would come up with another one he wanted to show me, and then another one he wanted to show me, and another. "Well, let me show you this one." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, oh my
He
word!"
knows we've seen them all by now, right? Like it's been the last 20 years of us seeing them.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, "Let me show you what this. Isn't this the weirdest thing you ever saw?" I love when he says that. He has something really unique. He'll go, "Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever saw?"
It's so funny because I don't know. Sam has picked up so much of that, and I'm like, I don't know if it's because Sam is 5 and my dad's regressing, or if Sam's just picked up Dad's weird mannerisms.
Or it could just have been passed down. He's just got that thing he does. Yeah, Sam won't let you. He can't tell you about anything either. He's like, Come see what I'm doing.
Come
and
see
I'm like,
this. Yeah, come see.
But I mean, I did that too at 5. I mean, I made people watch me all the time. Like, "Mama, get the camera. I want to make a movie." And it's just me running around in circles, yelling gibberish.
It's so hard to remember that Sam is 5 because he's so like adult conversational. Like he's so like he wanted me to do something on a video game. I'm like, "No, I'm not done yet." He's like, "Mom, Ashley won't let me do the thing." And I'm like, "I'm not done yet. You said I could play." And then I realized I'm like, I'm arguing with a 5-year-old. Like this isn't Jacob. Like he's 5. I should just let him show me the thing. And I keep having to remind myself of that he's not 25, he's 5.
He wins all the time because the only people around him are adults that care about him. So they let him win all the time. He desperately needs other 5-year-olds to give him a what for so he can learn that not everything is going to go his way. And I'm trying my
I told him no
best.
all day today, so you're
well,
welcome.
Good. I try my best, but I'm like, I'm dad. I'm just going to be the dad that says no all the time. Like, it just sucks. It sucks. This quarantine sucks balls. Tune in to Staring at Goats to hear me complain about that more every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Check your favorite podcast service. Now back to your regularly scheduled shenanigans.
So good. Go listen to last week's episode, if not for just the first 10 minutes of Steven's rant.
Solicitors, man. It's ridiculous. It's chaos. It's like Mad Max Fury Road out here. Go get some gasoline and some aqua-cola. Hey, man, thank you guys so much for listening to the show and being here with us and joining us in this quarantine age. We just appreciate that you're here. We appreciate your tips, your Patreons from Og and Adam of Geekheim for sure, and my parents and Ashley's parents to give us money. And your money did some great things. It bought Ashley a new light. So Ashley and Jacob have this really killer key light that is pretty fantastic. So we thank you so much for all of that and helping us do that and pay for all of our web services and all that stuff we have. It makes a big difference. But yeah, hey man, if you like the show, give us a review. Best thing you could do, tell your friends, tweet it out, be like, you guys, I found this awesome show. I listen to it every week. It is great. It's called Horseshoes and Hangover, and you should come hang out. And that would be amazing. And be like, RT if you love me, and people will just RT it all day long.
RT if you is that a thing?
No, it just seems like a good thing. But yeah, your Twitch subs are huge. Twitch subs are also really huge because they're really easy. And there's Twitch Prime, or you can give Twitch $5, and it gives you this little icon next to your name. That's super cool. And it made a big, oh man, like I think what happened on the 500th episode bought your key light all by itself. It was super,
oh yeah, you guys were
cool.
so generous and wonderful, and that was so cool. That made me feel good.
Yeah, it was really great. But man, you can follow us on Twitter, Steve H&H, Ashley's Fake Kills, PHATE Kills. She tweeted yesterday or this morning, and that was great because I was like, hey, she's alive. Yeah,
It was like
you guys are great.
In the morning.
Words of wisdom. Thank you, Zafo, with 100 cheers. Zafo is the best.
Yay!
This quote comes from Samuel Adams, my 5-year-old son, actually. While we were doing mulch, he came up with the words of wisdom for tonight while he was helping Jacob, or Jacob asked if he could help him fill a wheelbarrow. Samuel said, never let another man fill up your wheelbarrow. And
so cute.
I think those are good words to live by. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time right here on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.